Welcome to Hot Tech at the 2019 Taipei Bike Show, Part 2. This show is massive, and that's why we had to do another video. Couldn't fit it all in one video, but to fully appreciate how big it is, I kind of really have to show you like all the halls that are here. First, there's this massive hall, this outdoor demo area where you can try out bikes, this massive room, and this massive one as well. There's even another exhibition hall, but I just haven't had the chance to get to that one yet. Let's go find some tech. I've just come across this company, HYC, and they have an incredibly exciting new material which could have massive implications for the way that bikes are manufactured and what they're made from. See, the problem with carbon fibre is, as great as it is that you can't recycle it. Now, this new material promises to be recyclable, and it is, well, kind of carbon fibre. It's actually long carbon fibre reinforced thermoplastic composites. I just read it off there. Using these fibre pellets of their composite material, HYC have made a sort of prototype bike here at the show to show what can be done. Now, these tube sections here have been extruded, and this head tube and bottom bracket area have been injection molded. In terms of the material properties, they claim that it's, well, light and stiff and strong, very similar to that of carbon fibre. Although they do admit that although the strength's very similar to carbon fibre, the weight is slightly more, but not much, only about 3 or 4%. But they do say that this is early days, and they reckon that by further optimising the material and the manufacturing process, they can reduce the weight to get it to be as competitive as carbon fibre. However, you know, it's not much. The big advantage, though, is the manufacturing process. By being able to extrude and injection mould these pellets, that's a much cheaper and much more cost-effective way and quicker way of manufacturing bicycle frames than the traditional layup techniques, which you may have seen in the Look Carbon factory visit that we did a video on. Because traditional layup techniques are done by hand, and it's like assembling a 3D jigsaw puzzle from loads of pieces of carbon. It takes ages, and then once it's been done, it needs to be finished by hand. It's painstaking, sanding it down so that it can be painted. What you have here is the end result of the product once it's come straight out of the mould or been extruded, and it can be painted straight away without any more surface treatment. This again saves way more money and time. The result of this is that several big brands in the bike industry have shown a very keen interest in this material and the manufacturing process, because it means they can potentially manufacture bikes with shorter lead times at lower cost to them, and then the costs can also, well, the cost savings can also potentially be passed on to the customer as well. And the added bonus is that they can be recycled, making them greener too. To recycle it, the material is just ground up, and then it turns back into these pellets, which can then be used to make another bike or something else. This could be a real game changer. Hopefully you saw it here first. I love a lightweight Bling set of carbon wheels, and the Fulcrum Racing Zero Carbons have been around for a while, but new for this year are the Racing Carbon Zero disc brakes. Now, the rim has been completely redesigned, so it's gone from 17mm internal width to 19, which means it's better suited to gravel applications as well as road. You can have nice wide tyres on there. It's also tubeless ready now, and the cool thing about that is you don't need rim tape on there. The actual rim as it comes is tubeless ready, which is really nice. I also love talking about nipples and flanges, and there's reinforcement around the nipples on the new wheels as well, with this nice sort of carbon piece here. It's not there for aesthetics, it is there for a reason, to help reinforce where the nipple fits in. There's also this oversized flange, which means you can have a shorter spoke and helps stiffen up the wheel. Now, as beautiful as these are, they're pretty expensive, €2,000 a pair. So while this is the set we'll probably all dream of owning, the set we'll probably buy is the Racing 3 disc brake over here. The Fulcrum Racing 3 has long been a popular upgrade wheel set around the €600 price point, and the disc brake specific version follows the same path as the carbon one, so you've gone from 17 to 19mm internal rim width, tubeless ready, and you don't need rim tape. That larger flange is back, and you've got steel cup and cone bearings instead of the ceramic in the more expensive one, but yeah, nice wheels. Road cyclists love anything made from carbon fibre. That's a fact. And Rydeer is the latest company to satisfy that appetite with this. The first carbon fibre bottom bracket. This is a 24mm spindle bottom bracket, similar to what you'd use instead of a Shimano Holotech. And it weighs just 68 grams. Whew. Ceramic bearings too. Wow. They also have some particularly tasty oversized pulley wheel systems. Check this one out. It's got a super record rear mech on it. I'm just going to spin it up on the ceramic bearings. There we go. Probably be here a while. I've just spotted this absolutely beautiful Factor 1 aero bike in this stunning candy red finish. But the most exciting thing about this bike is it's got Rotor's new 13-speed group set on there. Now, we first talked about this at Eurobike where we spotted a prototype version of it, but it's now ready and it's apparently going to be on sale next month. The shifters are pretty interesting on the new group set. So the left-hand shifter, well, it isn't a shifter, it's just a brake. All the shifting's done on the right, and to move down the cassette, you do one click, and then to move up the cassette, you do a double click. It's quite compact. It's not as big at the top here, because similar to the FSA group set we showed earlier, the master cylinder is placed here rather than here, but it's quite a nice feel and shape to that. At the back, on the cassette, this is a 1039 cassette. It's massive, but there's other cassette options. I think there's even a 46 available as well. So you can get really big at the back, and that's a 48-tooth chainring. Now, in terms of the spacing and how you fit this 13-speed cassette on the back there, Rotor have a special hub that you need. And interestingly, when they sell the group set in a month's time and it goes on sale, there's going to be wheel options available to buy at the same time in like a package deal with the cassette to make sure that you have a compatible hub and wheel set for the group set. According to Rotor, the claimed weight of the group set is just 1,785 grams, which is incredibly light, especially for a hydraulic disc brake group set. But of course, I'll have to weigh it myself first and check that they're telling the truth. Taiwan is the bike manufacturing capital of the world. There's loads of expertise here in making things out of carbon fibre. And that means at the Taipei Bike Show, there's loads of companies you haven't heard of making stuff for companies that you probably have heard of. And one company that does that is Gigantex, who have loads of experience in making carbon fibre wheels, although some of you may have heard of them because they have been around since 1980. And they've got some really cool products. So this is one of their wheel sets, the catchily named WH198 plus CP013. But don't let the catchy name dissuade you. They're available in both tubular and clincher versions. And the weight of the tubular version is just 1,100 grams a pair. I mean, they weigh nothing. And they're really cool. They've got these carbon spokes, and they're said to be an incredibly stiff wheel. Gigantex is really proud of their carbon technology and also their spoke technology. And they claim that you can hold, I think, 200 kilograms off the end of just a single spoke and it doesn't break. And, well, think of that load spread throughout all of these spokes and you've got a very stiff wheel indeed, especially when they're laid up against the side of the rim profile in line, similar in the design to what lightweight does. But the price is nothing like lightweight's price. So lightweights cost thousands and thousands of pounds. Apparently this wheel set is available for just $700 or around that price point. So potentially great value. I know if I don't do it, people will be upset. So here's a free hub sound check. Sounds pretty good. Bit of tech news that's going to be music to the ears of John Canning's. KMC now does 12-speed chains that are gold. Also, something else pretty cool over here, they're doing custom chains as well. So on request, custom colours are available in both 12, 11 and 10-speed. That's it for Hot Tech Part 2 at the Taipei Bike Show. I hope you've enjoyed looking at some of this cool new stuff. I'm gonna go home now, so make sure you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm gonna walk home back to England. Here you can play some sad walking away music, Incredible Hulk style now. Try and thumb a lift.